Hey, I'm really running out of ideas. Just kidding, it's me, Sam. Let's go. Hey, so we got a good thing for you today. We got a game. Alright, hey everyone. So I needed to do a pretty complicated rig using tape and a box in order to get this cool camera angle on this thing right here. But what we're going to do right now is show you this card game and hope that the rig holds up. Here we go. So here's how you play Magic in the Castle. You start out, the first thing you do, no matter what, is you have your Huntress, okay? Take a card and you flip it, and it goes right there in the top left corner. I'm realizing now that the board is upside down. Oh, I'll just flip it in post. Cool. So in your top left corner, right here, that is where you are going to have your Huntress. So in this corner here, that's where you have your Huntress. More on that later. Next, what you're going to want to do is you take 5 cards face down in this corner here, and those are your unicorns. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More on those later. The next, you start out round 1, 6 forest creatures, okay? 6 forest creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And finally, 1 card face up, your hero. 1. Okay, this round your hero is, just making sure you can see it. Can you see this? Yeah. Okay, so for this round, your hero is an 8. Good. Now to begin, let's flip over our first forest creature. Cool. So that forest creature is a 6. It is an even-numbered forest creature and therefore is a bad forest creature. Okay, you're working with a hero that is a number 8. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take the number 8, compare it to 6. Okay? The difference between these two is 2. Very interesting. So your number is 2, so what you're going to need to do is flip over a card until you get a 2. Boom. Here we go. Now, if the number of cards in this stack is equal to or lesser than the amount of these 2 added up minus the Huntress, what happens is you beat the forest creature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? And added up, these are 14 minus 4 is 10. Now 7 is less than 10, so you beat the forest creature. So this 1 evil forest creature goes to the graveyard, which is up here, up top. And you now take the deck and you shuffle it up. Cool. And we're moving on to forest creature number 2 right now. Excellent. Excellent. Forest creature number 2. A 7. That's a good forest creature, okay? So now this forest creature is going to face off against this forest creature. A 2. Okay, now 2 is bad. 7, however, is more than 2. So if you add together 7 and 8, what you get is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. And if you count out 30 cards here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The 30th card is a queen. Oh, a queen. Interesting. So we now have a member of the noble court. The queen oversees what's going on right here. So your queen is the leader of this battle going on right here, which is your hero the 8, assisted by 7, the forest creature, fighting 2, the forest demon, otherwise known as an evil forest creature, okay? Now the queen is going to oversee this battle, and she ultimately is going to decide who is on top, okay? Let's see who is the assistant to the queen. We have a 6. Okay, that's very good. Now 6, 7, 8 form a streak, meaning you can now add the 6 to this team here. So these are the good people fighting the bad people, which is a 2. We're going to pick the queen a new assistant now. A jack. Oh my goodness. Another member of the royal court. This is so exciting. This happens so rarely. Now the queen and the jack are going to square off. We have right here, we have the jury. Okay? We have the jury. So the queen and the jack are going to square off. Let's flip a card to determine what their square off is going to be. A king. Oh my goodness. Okay. What we call this here is an internal royal dispute. Okay? It's the king versus the queen versus the jack. But to find out which 2 of members of this royal court are together and which member they are against, we will flip a card to find out. And again, I will explain this as we go. Okay, so 2 of these members are together and they're against 1. 1 is working with the other behind the thirds back. Here we go. King. Oh my gosh. Okay, 2 kings now. What we have here is a case of 2 kings. That is when 1 king is standing on the other king's shoulders and they function as 1 king, but ultimately they're going to be more powerful because they're on top of each other. But they also have a certain amount of weaknesses, and we'll find that out again. I'll explain it as we go. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. This we can work with. The jack is the outsider here. The jack is the outsider, so what we're going to do is we're going to group the king, or the kings, I guess, with the queen. They go together like this. What you're going to want to do is turn the queen sideways like that, and they are squaring off against the jack. We can put this 3 in the discard pile. Up here, okay, we'll move our unicorns over. Here is the discard pile. Okay, now let's determine what the fight is going to be for these folks. A 5. Okay, interesting. We can work with that 5. Remember, we still have this battle going on here. Now, what we're going to want to do is turn to this jury, okay? This jury, the jury is right here. And what the jury is the 29 cards that were flipped over underneath the queen before it was determined that we were entering a situation involving the noble court, okay? So the jury is now going to come in and decide what's going on with this dispute, the internal dispute between the queen with her kings and the jack, okay? And just to make things a little bit easier, let's put 1 king on either side of the queen, just so we know. Okay? The member of the jury determining the case of 5, queen and kings versus jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. This card here, folks, this card here is another king, okay? This king... We're going to put this king, since we have 1 king on either side of the queen, this king is going to go underneath the queen, okay? And the card underneath that is a 5, which, interestingly enough, matches this other card here, which is the card determining the dispute of the internal dispute of the noble court, the dispute within the dispute. So what happens now is they go together and you double down, which means you flip 2 cards. So the second member of the jury after this is the big one. An ace. It's an ace. We'll put these in the discard pile now, right next to the unicorns, and the card in question is the ace, okay? Now the jack, since he's all alone, he's going to use the ace, and to determine how powerful the ace is, we flip over 11 cards from the jury, because jack is basically the equivalent of 11 if you are familiar with card playing structure. And what happens is, if the 11th card is the same as the number here, then these guys win. If it's different, well, we'll explain what happens there if we come to it. Okay, so we have 4 members of the noble court. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4. Wow, 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 wow. This is such a cool example. What we have here, folks, is a 4. Okay, so a 4, what that does is it means that these guys win. Okay, so the jack is now dead. So we send the jack into the pile with the forest demons, discard the rest of this jury, and you may notice now that this 4 that has been turned over, corresponding to the royal court, the winning members of the court, corresponds to our Huntress card here. Remember why I said I would explain this? Well, now it's time to explain it. If a card matches the Huntress card is used in an issue of the Royal Court or also an issue of the Forest Battle, then what happens is that card and the Huntress card is added to the Forest Battle army, okay? So we can take this Royal Court and we're going to discard it for now. We're going to discard it forever, actually. And we're going to add this 4 to the Battle of 876 against 2. And what happens is the Huntress automatically knocks out this 2 to heaven, to the place where the creatures go when they're defeated. They go there. Okay, a 4, good. And we can take our jury, put it in the discard pile. Now at this point we're running out of cards, a bit low, so we're going to take the rest of the jury because the case is over, and we're going to put it in the discard pile, and we're going to take the discard pile and we're going to shuffle it in with our remaining deck, which is these 4 cards right here. Okay. So while we're shuffling, it's a good moment to just review what's going on. We have now taken down, well, we've taken down 2, but we've effectively eliminated 3 members of the forest creatures because one of them has joined our party here in addition to the Huntress. Okay? So we are shuffling these up. Okay, and first thing we're going to do, we're going to flip over, choose a new Huntress. Okay, that Huntress is a jack. Okay, this Huntress is a member of the Royal Court. Remember that. There's a special rule for that if the Huntress comes into play later. Okay, we have our deck right here, and it's time for our army to face a new forest creature. Let's figure out what it is. It's a 9. Okay, 9 is a good forest creature, so this gets added to the army, but folks, the fun part about this is the 9 is part of this streak here. So we got a 9, we got an 8, we got a 7, and we got a 6. 9, 8, 7, 6. Very good. It's added to the army, and now we have a pretty unstoppable army. Not much could take these guys down. Let's see what the next forest creature is. Game is looking good. A queen. Wow. So when you encounter a member of the noble court in the forest, when you're expecting to fight off against a forest creature, what that does is it catches your army off guard, okay? So what this queen does immediately is it banishes the Huntress. Huntress goes here, but what we can do, I mean, the Huntress is gone, okay? The Huntress is gone. There's no getting the Huntress back, but now you might find out is a good time to deploy one of our unicorns. So let's take the top unicorn from the pile. An 8. Perfect. The unicorn is a kind soul matching with a member of our hunting party, making the 8 twice as strong and the army therefore so much more effective against this queen. Okay, so the new Huntress is going to come into play. But what you don't know until now, because I'm telling you, is the Huntress that we're using now is part of the court, so it's working alongside the queen. Your own Huntress turned against you to fight off against the party, okay? So what we're going to have to do is a court situation right now. So queen, that's 12, jack, that's 11. We're going to flip over 33 cards and see what's going to happen in this court dispute. Face up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and your number is a 3. Now, in the case here, we have the number 3, and 3 does not match up with our hunting party because our hunting party is 5, and the noble court is 2. But if you take the difference between those amounts, 5 minus 2, what you get is 3, and therefore 3 is the moderator, okay? Now it's 3 moderating the fight between the royal court fighting against your own army, 98876. And it's up to the jury to decide now, okay? So our number is 3. So the third member of the jury, that's the magic ticket. 1, 2, 3, 9. Boom. Okay, let's count these cards up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9 is the 9th. Very interesting. So what happens now is 9 becomes the new moderator. Moderator goes in the discard pile, along with that 4 right there, okay? The 9 is the new moderator, and so we're going to want to flip over 9 cards from the jury. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A king rounding out the court. Oh my goodness, this is unprecedented. We have a full court against our hunting party. Not looking too good, which is a shame because we only had one more creature left to go, okay? So we have 3 members of the royal court, 5 members of us. This would be a good time to deploy another unicorn. Let's see. A queen. Good. This is good. What we have here is a queen, okay? So the queen joins us. The queen is now the captain of our hunting party because she was just in the unicorn deck. That's how the cards work. She was in the unicorn deck, and she now has an in, okay? So what we can do is we can send in our queen to pose as the other queen. This sends this queen to the Isle of Lost Souls of the Forest, and we now have a queen on the inside. What we're going to take this trial over again. We're taking it from the top. The moderator's a 9, so we flip over 9 members of the jury. That means the 9th member of the jury is the big determining factor here. Forest creature left. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A queen. Very interesting. Okay, a queen is now on top of things. Okay, 9 in the discard. Queen is the new moderator. Our queen is able to talk to this queen, and, well, I mean, it's not talking because it's a game, but essentially what this does is it's very good for us. This queen is very sympathetic to our queen, and so it allows us to add 2 members to our army. Okay, 2 members to our army, very good. Remember our playing deck right here, and we're going to take 2 members from those and add them to the army. 1, 2, wow, okay, a 9. We can work with that. That doubles up, and means half our army now is made out of doubled army fighters, and we now have an ace. Now the ace is going to be our secret weapon because it's the ace of hearts. It's one of the pointier suits, okay? So the ace on top, the moderator is now out of the picture. Okay, the moderator, we're sending her to the Isle of Lost Souls, and what happens is now it's us versus the court. All chaos has broken loose. So we're going to see what the court's attack is, okay? The jury is out of here. Sending them to the discard, and we're shuffling the deck. The jury is out of here. Now it's a classic high card, low card, folks, okay? Who's going to come out on top? It's us versus the court, and I think things are looking good, okay? We have 6 members. We're fighting with an ace. That's 1 point. Literally the worst thing we could get, okay? And the court, what's going on here? A 7. Not bad. Okay, so we're going to multiply our ace by 6 because we have 6 members, but also by 2 because we have 2 members here, okay? So we have 6 times 1, which is 6, and then also times 2, which is 12. Now, this is against these folks who have 3 of them times the 7. Ugh, that's a shame. That means 21, even though we get to add 1 here because we have the ace, not this ace, but the ace that we used to fight. 1 point adds 1 point. This one, if it had been drawn as a weapon, would have been worth 4 points because it's the suit with 4 points, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. So what we have here is an ace makes the 13 on this side, 7 on this side, okay? That's not looking too good, but our queen, she is the inside job, okay? So she can be taken out of the equation. And what we have now here is these 2 guys multiplied by 7 is 14, and we have our 6 times 2 times 1 here, which is 12, plus 1, 13 versus 14. It's still in their favor, but we still have 3 unicorns left, and I think we should draw 1 to see what's going on. A 10. Lovely. Now what happens now is we can add the 10 to our army because it's a streak. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And that means that we come out on top. Boom. These 2 members of the court go to discard. Our queen comes back to join our army. The 7 goes, well, the court goes to the Isle of Departed Souls, and the 7 goes to the discard, and we're now facing our final forest creature, folks. This is very exciting because it's our final forest creature. What happens is it's extra powerful, so let's just see what we're working with here. 9. Wow. That's not good. That's not good. We have 2 9s on our team, and they know to play to our strengths. So what happens now, our 9s, boom, right off the gate in the discard. Not the Isle of Lost Souls, that's only for enemies. Our own army members in the discard, 2 9s gone. That's going to be a tough loss. The queen will now replace the 9s in order for the 10 to stay in place, but that 10 could go at any minute, okay? This ace should have gone to the discard long ago. Very sorry. We still have our secret weapon, though. We're going to put it up here by the 10. Okay, so we're fighting the 9. We're fighting the 9, and what happens is we're going to flip a card to determine what this fight is going to be. An ace. Wow. Okay, this is a 1-to-1 fight. We have an ace on our side, so it should work out pretty well. I mean, it's all in what happens in the cards next, but I think it would be smart, since we don't have any forest creatures left after this 9. We're going to flip over our 2 unicorns and make those work in our favor. Here we go. Unicorn number 1, an ace. Yes! Okay. This ace is working with our ace here, a double secret weapon. We now outnumber the number of the determination. The determination battle card is multiplied by 2 in our own hand. That's lovely. Our second unicorn, no point in not using it now. Okay, this is a bicycle promotional card, and I should have explained this at the beginning. It's part of the rules of the game. You know, some games use the jokers. Some games require that you use the jokers. Some games require you to take certain cards out. This game requires you to put a promotional card in there. Okay, so this unicorn now changes the whole way the game works. So what happens is the Isle of Departed Souls gets added to the discard, and the discard goes to the Isle of Departed Souls, okay? And automatically, because we have such a strong army, meaning we have more than 1 weapon, then the discard pile gets taken away and it gets shuffled into the deck, okay? That's a tough blow because there's a lot of the Royal Court now mixed into the deck that we're working with, and the Royal Court is not too pleased with us because of all of our disputes from earlier in this game. So, I'm going to tell you, things are not looking too great. Shuffle it up, shuffle it up, shuffle it up. The unicorn really couldn't have hurt us, but we found the 1 card that made things really tricky. This is a great game, folks, and I'm interested to see what the final battle is going to be like, okay? Without further ado, our top card. Let's see. 5. Okay, let's count them up. 5 plus 1. The ace was already here. Because we have the promotional card, what happens is we add them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a 6. Promotional card takes that 6. Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Now the 9, we still don't know what the 9 is working with. Okay, since this is the final battle, we give the 9 3 backup cards now that it's combat time. I mean, it's officially combat time now. That's why we give the 9 the cards now. Now, what we're working with is we have 2 weapons. We only have 1 pair now, and we have a queen standing in for our 9, which is the same as what's over here, and it's keeping our 10, just holding onto it by a thread. If another royal card is turned over, which we now know there are a lot of those in the deck, this queen could be gone, which it would eliminate our 10, and that would be no good whatsoever at all. I guess it's time to see what the 9 is working with, okay? king for 6. Wow. Okay, so the good news is we get our 6 back. Okay, we just lost a 6. That's a fresh wound. The enemy takes its 6 and hands it right back over to us, again because of the sum of the combat cards. However, the royal court is going to take our our queen, to work with the king, and that sends our 10 right to the discard pile. Just right to the discard pile. That's tough. That's tough. However, we did just lose 2, and I mean, it's not going to make much of a difference, but the rules of the game call that if you lose 2 members of your army in the same turn, then you get to draw 1 new member to make it up, okay? Now, this might not be a strategic member at all, but it could help. That's what makes the game so interesting, is it could all change now. We're going to find out what the other member of our party is, and it is a 2. Good. The sum of our 2 weapons is a 2, so the weapons that our army is working with here are now much more powerful, and we're going to need that because they have the court, okay? As always, with the court here, we're dealing with a court situation on the enemy side with our last forest creature. What we have is, okay, I didn't see this until now, but it just happened, so it's good, a 4. Now, a 4 is equal to the number of cards we have in our regular army, plus the number of it's the sum of the values of our weapons. So this 4 gets sent to the Isle of Lost Souls. Very good. Very, very, very good. So what we're working with is the 9 has a king and a queen to back it up, and we're sending ourselves into a court situation, okay? King is 13, queen is 12. That makes 25, right? Yeah, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's a 3. Okay. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3. It's a 3. This is good because there are 3 cards on the enemy side, so that lines up even. There's no difference there, which means that the value effectively benefiting this team, this opposing force, is 0, okay? But they still have the noble court to combat us. So, I mean, essentially, what could happen is this 9 would work very well on our side. So what we can try to do is initiate a trade. I think at this stage in the game, where they have the noble court against us, we're out of unicorns. It's the last turn. I think initiating that trade would be our best way to make it to the top. So we have the jury here. We're going to set that aside for now. We have our deck. It's very small. And to initiate the trade, we're going to see who has the higher card, who has the lower card. So on our side, a 3. That matches the moderator of the court. So depending on what this side draws, could be very good. And let's see what the other side draws. A 5. A 5 matching one of these guys here. So this actually gets discarded right away into the discard. What we're working with is a combat determinator, is the ace, and we're working with a 3. It's not going to quite cut it, but it will, however, cancel out the moderator of the court, meaning we're now working with a 7. A 7 here matches one of our people, okay? So we can redo this trade because we have the moderator matching one of our own army fighters. Okay, so on our side we have a king. That's good. And on their side they have a 10. Yes! King beats 10, and we get to keep the king because we have a member of the royal court, okay? And they get the 10 because we get to keep the king, and we get the 9, adding to the streak of our army. Now that 10 would be very good as well. I think it's good to get greedy here, and let's see if the 10 can come over to our army and we can get this win in the bag. Because like I said, we're going to need all the force we can get to fight this royal combination. And the next card coming up is a jack. Jack for us, 3 for them. Jack beats 3. They get to keep a 3. We get to keep the jack because it's part of the court, and we get a 10 on our army. Folks, this is looking good, okay? So we now have a jury situation on both of our sides. Now, their royal court is slightly stronger than ours because they have a queen, which outrates a jack, and we both have a king. But we're going to figure out what's happening here. So, the ace is the determinator, and it's court time. The first court, we're going to go with us because we have less of an advantage than the opposing team, and we're going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members of our jury. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They, however, are going to pick 1. 1. It's a queen. Okay. They beat us on that front. Discard. Queen is added. Their court gets even stronger. We'll figure it out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an 8, and they get 1. It's a king. Again, it's just part of the game. Add it to the discard, okay? We get 6. They get 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Okay. 2. Take 2 away. 1, 2, and it's a queen. Boom! The queen now adds to our set. These don't matter anymore. They're in the discard. Their 2 is diddly squat. And we're going to shuffle in the discard into our deck. We are so close to the conclusion here, folks. It's going to be a close one. So we have a very strong army. They have a pretty weak army, but they have a court of 2 kings and 2 queens, which is very strong, technically stronger than ours, although we do have a full court, which may come in handy if a 3 is drawn. A 3, of course, corresponding to 1 member each of the court. And let's see. A 5. Okay, a 5, a 5, a 5. Now, what we can do is we can square off, because we would like this 5 for our army, because it would make a full, just such a strong army of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So, high card, low card, let's see who gets it. Us is a 5, them is a 3. We get it. Cards in the discard. We got the 5, okay? And with the ace for the determiner, it's time for the final battle. Let's see. Queen. I mean, it's court time. Queen's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A king. Add that. Nope, sorry. Queen is 12. 12. 5. Boom. We have a 5. So we win. It's really impossible to get my head in here. So we win, baby. And let's see what the remaining 2 cards in our deck would have been just in case. A jack and another jack. If they had gotten a hold of those jacks, we would have been toast. And that's basically how you play the Magic in the Castle. Hope you enjoyed.